Hi guys, this is Dan from Magic Pachinko Restorations with another short video of a vintage Pachinko machine. If you like these videos, please click on the subscribe button, whatever that thing is below. We're pretty close to 400. I've kind of given up on 2 million, but 400, 500, that's pretty realistic. So stop at magicpachinkorestorations.com. All sorts of good information there. Shows you what I do and how I do it. So today we're going to take a look at a 1977 Nishijin Model C. And I just finished restoring this morning. And this particular model is a good example of what we were talking about maybe 3 or 4 videos ago with the what I called the hybrid machines, the Nishijin Model Bs that were near the end of the production run of the Bs, and they had Model C parts on them. So if you look at this feed tray and this lower tray with where the ashtray is, and this trim, there were a number of Model Bs that I had just restored that had this same setup on it. So obviously they had started to make Model Cs and had a number of Model Bs left, and rather than scrapping that, they just said, no, we'll just put all the parts together and make hybrid machines. So that's where that came from. Same thing with this lock trim and these trim pieces. They're very reminiscent of the Model Cs, but you will see them on the Model Bs occasionally. So full restoration, new play field. This is a very pretty center attraction, very Japanese looking, with Japanese children and so on. And once I fire the machine up, I'll show you how this all works. It's very cool. This machine was in pretty nice condition when I got it. These were clean, and one of the things that I got kind of a kick out of is the tulip stickers. These are called crown tulips, Nishijin crown tulips. So there's, if you're not aware of this, you can buy replacement stickers at vintagepachinko.com. That's Bill Cardwell's shop. He makes these stickers. They're printed out the right size. You just peel them off and stick them on. Most of the Pachinko machines that I get, the stickers are white. There's just nothing left of them. It's just the paper backing, all the colors gone. So you do have to use something like Goo Gone to get that all out of there and get that shape all nice and clean, and then you can put new stickers in. And when I first started doing restorations, the stickers were all one color, different colors, but they were a solid color. And then Bill switched over to these dual colors, and I asked him why he did that, because initially I didn't like them all that well. And he said, well, they're more reminiscent of what the Japanese actually used. And lo and behold, I get this machine, and these are replacement stickers that I put on, but that's exactly what the originals look like, that two-tone, in this case, orange and yellow, that really matches the motif of the machine. So that was kind of nice. So let me turn this around. Again, cherry feet. I got a good deal. Oh, can't see it. Let me tip this a little. There we go. These are made of cherry. I got a great deal on a bunch of cherry, so I'm making the feet out of cherry wood now. So the one of the nice things I like about the C's is this whole unit just pops right off very easily. It's held in place by these white clips. There's like 5 of them. You just pop them and off they come. This machine was, all the covers were complete, including the locking cover for the jackpot arm, although typically there's no keys with these things, so I don't have a key for this or the lock, but that's pretty typical. So the Model C was kind of a, I don't want to say a backward step, but went back to a very proven technology, and that is the Model A jackpot, which simply holds 14 or 15 balls, tips, lets them out, and just comes right back up again and gets refilled, rather than a center jackpot that opens at the top and the bottom, and a little more complicated. So that sits right here. This is it. It's the clear piece of plastic right there. Let me move this in and I'll show you. Okay, so that's the jackpot chamber. Fills with balls from here, and it just tips and lets the balls out, which it's a very simple design. Now back in here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but right here, now you probably can't see it for the angle, but there's a piece of brass in there with two fingers. Again, very reminiscent of the Model A's. And the nice thing about this design is it's held in with two screws. So you could, not that you would have them, but the Japanese could take that piece of brass out that was set for 15, and by changing the length of those fingers, have it set for 14 or 13. I've even seen some for 11. So by removing a screw, a couple of screws, they could make the machine pay out differently very easily. Also, with this design, this led to the exchanger, what they called exchanger models. So with an exchanger, this portion here was set up so that it wasn't screwed to this frame. It was held in by latches, so you could, from the backside, take the guts off, undo the latches, pull this whole front panel out, put a whole different one in, latch it back up, put the guts back on, and literally have a brand new or completely different machine. So those were called the exchanger models. I've worked on a couple of them. Don't own any in my own personal collection, but I have restored a couple, and they're pretty cool. So again, let's get this turned around. We'll get it loaded up. The Model Cs have the little fuse board up in here. There's a light here, and then behind this is a circuit board, and there are two lights up in here that light up for the jackpot. So it's a very nice, clean, no wires all over the place. The ball out light plugs into the circuit board right here, and then down here is the micro switch that gets turned off and on with the seesaw movement for the jackpot. So again, nice and clean. I just hook in my 12-volt power supply, and we'll fire this up. The ball out light comes on, and again, the default. Now that I think about it, I emptied this earlier, so this is not set up right. You have to push down on this, and this white piece was tipped like that. When you see it like this, it means the balls will run out and come straight down and exit the machine. So you just push down on this, it straightens out and puts a curved piece in, so the balls will make the turn and go across into the jackpot chamber. So again, as I always say, a handful of balls, because you want to make sure it runs over to the jackpot rather than exiting the machine. And then just continue loading balls in. Eventually you get enough balls in that the weight shift is made, it closes this switch, and in this case it turns the light off when the switch is closed. And now the machine has got enough balls in it to work, and the only other thing you do with this is just make sure your seesaw, like all Pachinkos, is set in the right direction. You want it this way, not that way. Okay? So this is all set up, ready to go. I'll add some more up here. Again, have something similar to this. Losing balls, winning balls, you just need something to catch. And now you can see that the ball out light is off. Let's get this in a little closer so you can get a good look at it. There, that's good. A little bit of a glare, I guess, but let's launch some balls. And of course, every time I make the video, it never pays out. So we'll cheat it. But I did mention I'm going to show you the way that the center attraction works. It's much easier to win when the tulips are open rather than closed, obviously. I do try to set the pins, the brass nails, so that you'll get wins as often as possible. So when I was testing this and setting it up, I make sure that the balls can get into a closed tulip on here and here, and I make sure the balls can drop right into the pay pockets, no problem, and down through the center. So if you get a ball in the upper center one, it drops right into the middle one, and then there's 2 levels of clear plastic in here with holes in them. And when the ball hits, it'll roll around, and then it can go a number of ways. So that time it went to the right. Went to the right again and opened this. Let me see if I can get one over on this side. That time it went down through and opened these. There it goes. So it will open the tulips. And now it's going to be a lot easier to get a win off this machine. So that's a Nishijin 1977 Model C. Hope you enjoyed it.